This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And if you roll another blunt and keep your mouth shut, I tell you how I became the wicked nigga they call your life. Blackout, 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 yeah. Hey, blackout, man. They speak highly of me when I raise my voice. I gotta shoot a fucking free throw to make my point. My wittiness leave them stuck in the wilderness.
And we are back. And I'm gonna try and refuse his terms. No, if I can't see Huey, then this entire ordeal is pointless. I have to take the risk. You don't be better than that, Ryota. I have to see Huey with my own two eyes. Who knows? You could be lying. You could have killed her before I even showed up. I'm wounded. Do you really think I would do something so cliche? Well, I didn't think you would be a serial killer, but here we are. Forgive me for not taking chances. Fair enough, boy. I'll play along. She'll be here by the time you arrive. I'll even let you see her before you enter the school. That was odd. Very odd. Agreeable of him. Enough to make me feel as though I walked right into his setup. Then boy, is that all? Time passes ever on. Shit. Alright, normally I would go and agree with his terms. I'd go back and agree with his terms and see what he'd say. But I'm gonna see how this turns out first. But I believe me refusing his terms probably will work out better for me in the long run. Actually, you know what? I probably did make a mistake. You know what? I will go back. Because I just thought about that. Yeah, I just really thought about that. Because here's the thing. Now, I can't predict this new Ryota. I have no power, no trump card. If I push too much, he might make the situation even worse. And yeah, and he probably would have. I'll just have to make the most of it. Back of the school then. Yeah, because if he brings Huey, then I'm less likely to try and hurt him. Even though he'll probably bring her anyway. I'll give you 15 minutes. I'm coming from the subway station. Then you better run. Ta-ta. That's the last thing he says before he hangs up. I almost blankly stand in the middle of the subway, phone swinging loosely from the edge of my fingers. Then all my muscles burst into action. I shoot out the subway, legs pounding the pavement just as fast as I can make them. My lungs start to burn as the cold night air cuts into my throat like knives, but I'm forced to ignore it. Stoplights in the cross section warn me to stop, but when I see a gap between the incoming cars, I bolt across for my life. Engines' horns roll like in high volume. I'm certain that the cars roll down there. Windows to call me crazy, scream that I'm an idiot, swear to call the police on me, but I don't give a fuck. They're coming back from a long day of work, or grabbing fast food around the corner, or picking up their kid from martial arts or craft school. Like, meanwhile, there's a girl locked up somewhere knowing nothing except the sickening fact that at any moment she might die. And yet, there they go, with fast food, martial arts, and a craft school. The world blurs in a sight of fluorescent colors until I can grind to a halt at the entrance. My heart feels as though it's slamming into my ribs, bruising itself until it bleeds. I'm forced to stop and lean against the gate, gulping desperately for air. 13 minutes. I have only 2 left. I press my sleeve against the sweat coating my brow, allowing myself for one more deep breath. Then I sprint to the perimeter of the school, stopping by the shady back area where all kids should stay clear of. Ground up cigarette buds, and if I squint, I can catch the light gleam of empty needles and grass. Well, maybe this school was a little less tidy than I thought. Like, as I near the trash can, I noticed a long, distinctive human-shaped figure leaning against a solid wall. Fine weather we're having. I expect the voice, but I didn't expect the instinctive reaction that comes with it. My breath catches, my throat clogs, sending tears straight to my eyes, no matter how hard I try to keep them down. And Ryota steps into the moonlight, lips twisted into a lopsided grin. Out for a little night exercise? I try to speak, but no sound presses my lips. I know what he's doing. I know what this is. A power play. I'm sweaty, tired, disheveled, and likely very sleep deprived, forcing me to run here only to give him more of an advantage. There's nothing I can do. Now, removal of gadgets, if you may. Wordlessly, I reach into my pocket, silently handing my phone. I don't have any other choice. Turn out your pockets, pants and jacket. I do so. You're walking evenly, so I doubt you're carrying anything in your shoes or underwear. Come in, we've wasted enough time. How? We're at the back of the... But then he touches the wall, and part of it slides away. Suddenly there's a keypad. He jabs a sequence of 6 digits in the keypad. Wait, and the wall slides open? It's nothing like one of those mysterious puzzles of ancient agriculture in the video games where the whole wall rumbles apart while the ground shakes and dust falls from the ceiling and a magical passage is revealed. Simply put, a door-shaped part of the wall swings open as if the door is painted on and looks like the wall, except the texture is just somehow exactly the same. It's quiet. It's understated, and I have never guessed in a million years that it was there. Rhoda clocks my shock and only grins in response. Let me tell you something, kid. The janitor has to get in and out somehow to dump his trash. Now, smooth little schools like this, they love to give the illusion that they're perfectly protected, impenetrable walls in every direction. The only gate supervised by a card reader and security cameras. But functioning speaking, don't you think the janitor is going to walk out the gates all the way around the school, go back all the way around, and then through the gates? Like, who would do that? Like, of course not. It's just it's like sheer stupidity. Something on the level of presuming that the janitor took everything to the land. Oh, the missing socks. I knew that there had to be another way in. And now... Oh, and well, it took some searching, but that's how I found this. Why hadn't I thought of something like that? Why did it have to be Ryota? If you're trying to brag, don't expect a red carpet award from me. What I'm trying to tell you, kid, is that even the richest school in all Ishmu has a crappy security system. One man outsmarted it. Just like this. To be fair, they probably weren't expecting a serial killer to be in their facility. Or in their faculty, at that matter. Sloppy work on their part. Let's go. The night isn't getting any younger. Nor am I. He turns and slides the corner, moving so fluently that his head stays perfectly even over the ground. I didn't notice that that his careful steps render him virtually silent, like a predator hunting down a piece of injured prey. It's a matter of exiting the building, turning the corner, and entering the classroom complex. He leads me up the stairs into the second floor. I only stared inside the dim gloom, suddenly filled with dread. Everything could be a trap. Ryota could have already killed Ruri. Shigure could be lying. There are so many moving components to this encounter, so many potential things that could go completely wrong. I turn my gaze to Ryota, who only jerks his head at the door in distinctly more impatient fashion. Impatience? I filed this nugget into the back portion of my mind that's still miraculously working. Then with one breath, I enter the classroom. Ryota follows straight behind me, announcing my appearance with a loud crow. Delinquent arrives at last. He pushes up his sleeve as if ready to work, tossing his keys, phone on top of the desk, probably in an effort to unburden himself for whatever he has planned. Stop abruptly, my eyes roving frantically across the classroom, searching for empty space. Huddled in the back corner of the classroom are two desolate figures tied firmly to their chairs. First is girl, second is a boy. I don't recognize either of them, but they look young, maybe their first years. They're speechless, but from where I sit, I can see sweat rolling from them. Their temples dripping onto their necks, and their knees are clearly shaking. Both of them are absolutely terrified, innocent bystanders pulled into this sick, dastardly game. That's when Ryota abruptly pounds the handle of his knife against his desk, blasting my ears with a sudden sound. My heart instinctively jumps into my throat. He snickers quietly at the shock that must be evident on my face. Welcome, class. I hate to say it, but you're now in a remedial session. Suffice to say, you're all screwed up in a big way, and it's my job to whip you back into shape. Now I hate it, but someone in this snotty little elementary school has to smack the hands of the naughty ones. He suddenly whips to me, his eyes blazing, pointing the tip of the knife right at my chest. You, why aren't you sitting down? I sit down, throats dry. Ryota Soda immediately relaxes. Good. That's exactly how I like it. Now, Ishimoto, is it? Since you came in late, you get to be my special assistant. My body goes cold. My eyes immediately turn to the knife. Ryota, reading my intentions, chuckles. Oh, don't look so scared, boy. You'll help me discipline. Sounds much better than like a position to be in, doesn't it? Relief courses through me, and I hate myself for it. Shouldn't be relieved. He's a discipliner. I am a disciplinary. What? Whatever he is planning on doing, I will have to copy. If he breaks bones, so must I. If he saws through limbs, so must I. If I don't, then all of us will be killed right here, right now. Right here, right now, right here, right now. Because the only thing keeping him playing along is me. What do we have to do? Oh, it's quite simple. He strides behind the teacher's desk and pulls out something underneath. My heart drops. Two metal pipes around 3 feet in length, round edges. He rolls one to me. I automatically stoop down and pick it up. We will take turns inflicting blows on our disciplinaries. Good, solid blows that make nice musical sound. The disciplinary who knocks out or kills their disciplinary loses. The two students explode into a welling statement. You bastard! You damn bastard! I can't believe you! Please don't hurt my sister. Don't hurt me. This makes me freeze. Brother and sister silently watch over as Ryota gleefully skips over to the chair, dragging the students over. Brother and sister. The cruelty will never end. I swear, if you lay one hand on my brother. Ryota stops abruptly. The momentum throws the girl against her ropes, temporarily choking her into silence. Isn't she just so darling? I picked her up I picked her out, especially for you, boy. You did. Fucking bastard. Oh, yes. And she gets to be yours. I fall on the sign horror. Oh my god, she turns her head away. Hazel, look at me. Look at me, Hazel. The terrified boy looks her eyes, dazed in a mixture of tears and sweat. You'll be okay. It'll be okay. Do you understand? It won't be. It will be okay. Fuck. What do I do? Of course she'd say that. Except the first person to fall unconscious means a loss. Which means I have to inflict pain without the promise of comfort. I can't do this. If I want to win, or at least not lose, each blow needs to be felt by their conscious mind. Oh, don't give me that face, boy. Be glad I didn't pick the knife. I mean, I'm pretty tempted to, but then you'd probably lapse. That's just boring. Something like this needs to be remembered. So are we ready to begin? No. No, we can't, yo. I'll go first. Watch and learn. He stands over the boy, gripping the pipe, keeping the knife in the other. I watch transfixed, even while everything in my brain is screaming for me to turn away and close my eyes. The boy whimpers close, squirming about the ropes that bind him to the chair. Rhoda smirks quietly at him and ruffles his hair. I'm not gonna lie to you, kid. This is gonna hurt like hell. She's like, no. Rhoda rises pipe painstakingly slow, revealing the drama of the moment. 3, 2, 1. Let's get ready to rumble! He whips the pipe down, but just when it's an inch away from the boy's kneecaps, he stops. Psych! The boy releases a great shuddering gasp, and his shoulders drop in relief. And then a moment of hesitation, he lifts the pipe and brings it down. And goes crack crack goes bone against metal. And the air splits from impact of a horrifying, agonized scream punctuated by a swirl squeak of metal at the base of the chair against the ground from the force of impact. This boy is still screaming as Ryota steps back, an expression that I've never seen before dawning on his face. Oh, beauty. True beauty. How potent is your sting? He giggles quietly to himself as the boy writhes against his chair, leg forced into an awkward angle. Oh. Damn it! This can't go on. I can't let this go on. Then there's just one thing to do. Well, your turn, boy. It's nightmare, no awakening. A dark tunnel with no sign of light. What use is it? There's nothing left to wait for. It's better to end it quickly than to prolong needless pain. I shouldn't have come here in the first place. I shouldn't have tried to fix anything. If only I'd remained unattached. If only I stayed oblivious. None of this would have happened. I raised the pipe with certainty, hands cold but steadily. It would have been better if I had just stayed as a normal high school student, breezing past his final years of studies before the university exam. Alienated from this world of misery, I swing the pipe. The impact surely into the skull, splitting it cleanly. She doesn't have time to scream. I strain, expecting the fear, terror, guilt. The only thing that overcomes me is a wave of nausea. Not the sickening blow of fever or flu, something on a deeper scale that flows to the outer edge of my body. A sensation that's slimely incurable. Murder, my mind whispers. Murderer! There's a silence from Ryota, even from the boy, not a single peep. The boy should be screaming. He should be swearing vengeance at me, vowing to make me suffer for killing his sister. Ryota should be cackling with satisfaction. It's finally broken me to the point where I've taken a life. The two of them only stare at me silently as if frozen in time. Frozen in. I drop the pipe, but land soundly. Like the world is a valid muffler. What is this? Step towards Ryota, but he doesn't budge. His eyes remain on the spot where I was. The room is still and silent, and miraculously peaceful, like a scene put on pause, or stage play in the middle of intermission. Shadow flits to the corner of my vision, immediately drawing my attention. Who's there? Nothing, of course, nothing. It's no longer simply emptiness, because I am helpless. There's nothing left for me. This is out of my control. I can do nothing more. Death after death. The endless cycle of suffering. Living in a world that delights in breaking innocent souls. It's just better to give up and die. If I could fall to the ground right at this moment, I'd just let myself rot. That would certainly be an ideal. Or do I need to live? To lie down without a fight, or to set my revenge on the world? To make society resent the people who raised such a monster? A tantalizing thought. This is out of my control. And now, in my control. And so I wake. Time has resumed. No, it never stopped at all. The girl's split corpse tumbles croakily in her chair. If I bothered to look, I would probably see organs slithering out of her skull. I breathe deeply, the cloying scent of iron, feeling refreshingly alive. You monster! Despite his numerous injuries, the boy writhes against his chair. A truly tragic scenario. But he is obnoxious and hardly influential. It would be better to dispose of him without hesitation. I reach down and grab the pipe, crushing it against his forehead with all the force I can muster. Instant silence. I sigh quietly, flicking the fragments of blood and bone off of the pipe, feeling for the first time in total control of the situation. So this is true strength. How I envy it. I turn my gaze to the man standing by the shattered teacher's desk. His face is ugly still, masked with years of long practice, but I sense new rings of terror beating beneath his breast. It probably been a long time since a man like him has felt fear. Almost an entirely new sensation. I smile absently. A tingle of pride buried beneath my hollowness. This man with a haggard face, beaten brow, shredded pupils, accustomed to chaos of the highest order, fears me. Who are you? Why do you ask? I see this man's calculations crumbling in his eyes. Clearly this is a situation he has not expected. You're not Yama. Nonsense. There's no one else I could plausibly be. He's simply limited by his own preconceived notions. The fool. I advance towards him, raising my well-worn pipe. Let him burn. Let this world burn. It deserves nothing less. Wait! He throws up a hand, trembling with adrenaline, looking for a way to escape. He is such a brave man and yet so cowardly. I'm waiting. You want something different, don't you? I stretch my sore muscles idly, paying little heed to the knife clenched tightly in the man's hand. Intelligent fellow. He's had all this time, but even though he's drawn it, he knows better than to use it on me. What could you possibly mean? The man is still for a moment, his eyes flickering down to my open rib cage, but the knife stays at his side. Instead, he raises the unarmed hand, pointing across the room towards the broad window that clips the edge of the classroom. I know that look in your eyes. We're not so different, you and I. Oh? It seems like a perfectly acceptable moment to chuckle, but not even a smile crosses my lips intriguingly. You want bloodshed? I can help you with that. I'm from the hood. You will gain very little from killing me as opposed to letting me help you. I tilt my head, humming quietly. Sensible offer, but I suddenly flashed toward holding my pipe with both hands. Ryota reflectively swings his knife, but his actions move like mud to my eyes. I easily catch his blade against the pipe and drive the leverage to rotate it into his own chest. The knife sinks softly into his flesh. He stares at me agape. You could not have been more wrong. But about what I want. Unfortunately for you, you. I jolt my grip, thrusting the knife even deeper. He gasps for breath, a gargling sound, no doubt the result of blood flushing through his lungs. I release my hold, knowing the wound to be fatal. I step away. After a moment of deliberation, I decide to pick up Ryota's pipe. I release the hold, the wound to be fatal, and after good deliberation, I decide to pick up. Yeah, I said that again. Okay. Nice moment of irony. I step into the classroom window, my path littered with corpses. Juro Ryota. An unfortunate boy and an unfortunate girl. I draw myself to the window, regarding the peace sky without emotion. To see smoke cloud that fleeked with embers and ashes. I look forward to seeing that day. The new story shall begin here. Casually flick the lock on the window and push it open with my pipe. I would have liked to crack the glass open like I cracked their skulls, but I have more important things to take care of. It's time for the city to remember. What? Okay, okay. That's the bad end. Okay, okay. I was about to say, like, shit. No. If I can't see Rui, then this ordeal is pointless. I have to take I have to take the risk. You know me better than. Oh, right. I read this part. Okay, okay. Okay, yeah. I read this part. Wait, can I get anything from him now? Right now. It's just the situation still seems grim. I'd also like to see. I also like for Rui to be untied. Oh, okay. Whoops, I messed that up. Okay, so what I want to do is bring it back. So yeah, if I can't see Rui, then this entire ordeal is pointless. Who knows? I'm wounded. Do you really think? But yeah, okay, fair enough. I'll play along. She'll be here by the time you arrive. I'll even let you see her before you enter the school. That was oddly agreeable for him. Okay, is that all? Can I get anything from him? Can I get anything else from him? Okay. Okay, now this part I'm gonna save again. Okay. And then I'm gonna reject his terms again. Also would like for Rui to be untied so she can run away. As you wouldn't be able to chase her down. Heh, playing hard to get, aren't we? Fine, because I'm so very magnanimous. I accept. Would your highness like a pony? Any new terms stack the odds more in my favor. But I'm not currently in a position of power. If I push too hard, everything can go south. Damn, I was not expecting all that. Okay. So obviously if I refuse all his terms, it ends up being like a bad thing. But I'm gonna refuse his terms anyway. Cause I feel like it. The more advantages I push for, the better I'll be, right? It's worth a try. I might only have one shot at this. There's one more thing. Say, kid, I don't know if you're stalling for time, but there's so much garbage here that I'm willing to put up with. Haven't your parents taught you what happens when you get greedy? You lose everything. His voice is cold as steel, turning my palms sweaty. I get the terrible feeling that I just made a mistake. Wait, then I? No more playing around. Seems like you got too caught up in trying to play God, kid. Rui's staying out. Sorry, but you won't be able to see her. Get over to the back of school. You got 15 minutes. Okay, so the result would have ended up being the same anyway. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'll accept the terms. No, for mine, there's not a lot more I can ask for without the request seeming downright ridiculous to Ryota. Rui's going to be there. I'm going to see her. The police will know where I am. This is the most I can ask for. The back of the school then? I'll give you 15 minutes. Okay, so this part's still the same. Yeah, this part's still the same. Okay, this part's still the same. This part's still the same. Okay, so as I near the trash bin, I notice a long, distinctly human-shaped figure. Okay, so that's... Speak. Oh, wait, yeah. So I'm like, I need to see Rui first. He only chuckles at this. Not even a chuckle amusement. It sounds so giddy. Good. You already learned how to play the game? He turns and points silently at the second floor of the classroom building. Most of it is shrouded in darkness. Just the window, and I catch a glimpse of... You saw it, didn't you? So the phone. All I saw was orange hair. It could be a dupe. Sighing heavily, Ryota reaches for his phone and taps the screen a few times. And he only has to wait a few seconds. Rui, your boyfriend is having some trust issues. Be a dear and look out the window. I stare at the building, forcing myself not to blink, half convinced that if I look away for a split second, I'll miss everything. The head of orange hair by the window turns slowly, revealing a distant pale face, muddled silently by the distortion of the window. But without doubt, it's Rui. I sigh breathlessly, instinctively, something that I can't help. I can't stop at the time. Ryota smiles triumphantly. Phone. Silently hand him the phone. Turn out your pockets, pants and jacket. I do so. Walking evenly, so I doubt you're carrying anything. Okay, this is the same. Okay. This is the same. This is the same. Yeah, okay, so this is the same. Okay, so he's talking about Ruri. So pulls the eyebrow at me. I only stared inside the dim gloom, suddenly filled with dread. Everything could be a trap. Rui could have been moved. Shigure could be lying. There are so many components, blah blah blah. Turn my gaze to Ryota, who only jerks his head instinctively. Impatience. I filled his nugget into the back of a portion of my mind. It's still miraculously working. Then one deep breath, I enter the classroom. And the delinquent has arrived at last. He pushes up his sleeve as if getting ready for work, tossing his keys on top of the desk. Okay, this part's still the same. There. Holding the back corner are 3 desolate figures, each tied firmly to their chairs. One of them with streaks of orange in their hair. Softly in the scant moonlight is Rui. For a moment, I see nothing else. My eyes fixed on her, and my throat closes. Happy. I shuffle forward, a croak whimpering to my mouth before I can stop it. It's only after seeing her that the weight falls that I realize how long it's been since we've last spoken, that I realize how much I missed her, that I remember what life was like without her. I brace my hands against the desk to keep myself from collapsing bonelessly to the ground, forcing slow and steady breaths into my lungs. Still alive. Alive before my eyes. She screams something muffled against her gag and kicks the wall. The abrupt noise stops me in my tracks. Oh, it seems the damsel in stress wants to share some lovely little words. Clearly amused, he stands to his feet, goes to the chair, and in one motion flourishes something from the teacher's desk and holds it. Okay. With a jolt of panic, I leap forward. Don't! He slices down. Time freezes. The tip of the sword. I said sword. The tip of the. Oh my goodness. The tip of the whisk forward. Straight towards Rui's skull. Shearing the air below it in two. At the possible moment, pulls right back and shreds the knot on a gag in the cloth. Okay, coming to the rest. Okay. Enough force a ragged breath as Ryota screeches. Oh, kid, the look on your face. It was priceless. P-R-I-C-E less. I stop against the desk, my relief too great to allow room for anger. Instead, I stare at Rui, her eyes, her hair, the tip of her nose, letting the memorizing image remind me of home, comfort, teasing, Christmas dinners, scented candles at a town festival, whispered jokes, elbows in the ribs, playing make-believe like 2 idiots. Rui, what the hell are you thinking, Yama? Why would you come here? Her voice changes. Her voice, oh my goodness. Yes, blah blah blah. She's croaking. You okay? Yeah, but not for long. Why didn't you just stay home? Because I couldn't leave her to die? Because I had to do something? I guess I got lazy at being lazy. She snorts at a croak laugh, almost phonetic, as if she didn't mean to laugh, but she couldn't help it. Well, there's a surprise. She sends more a weak smile. I turn to Ryota, who smiles lazily in response. You see, I'm a good sport. So very accommodating. You won't find an executor of my tier anywhere else in this world. I'm top tier, Yama. You say you grew up on Super Surfs and Tay-Rocks? I grew up on Calicos and Loaded Luxes. On the Mooks and Loaded Luxes. Executioners kill for a purpose. Executioners are given targets by other people. Is it possible to get any information out of him? Executioner. You mean a glorified hunting dog? So I say in an attempt with a cold, flat tone. But to my dismay, my voice cracks. This only seems to heighten Ryota's glee. Hunting? Oh no. Hunting is for practical purposes. Hunting is the meat. or the money from sales. I like to think of myself as a gardener, pruning dead weight so the branches with actual promise can grow. My idea is my employer, my ego, the employee. Don't think I don't know what you're doing. Scraping for time won't bring the police here any closer, boy. Do you realize that you sound no more provocative, no more provocations. It's time for the school to begin the sessions. Abruptly he pounds the handle of the knife. He snickers. Welcome, class. Okay, so this part's the same. Okay. Okay, so he'll give me two fabulous options. I had goodness in my heart. Either my disciplinaries will be Darling Lil Rui, and yours will simply be that plastic class skeleton. And your okay, so either my disciplinary will be Darling Lil Rui, and yours will simply be that plastic skeleton, or both of us will work on these two students. Other students, since one were the two strangers sent by Rui. Okay. I need. Okay, yo, y'all gonna hate me. Y'all gonna hate me. I'm on y'all now. Y'all gonna hate me. Y'all gonna hate me. Say no more. Say no more. But they look young, maybe in their first year. They're speechless, but even from where I sit, I can see that the sweat is rolling from their temples and dripping their necks, and their knees are clearly shaking. Both of them absolutely terrified. Innocent bystanders. Pulled into the sick, dastardly game. Rue's next to them. Unlike the others, she is completely still. Eerily so, like she's been turned into stone. But when I meet my gaze, I see nothing but tears and fear in her eyes. She's ungagged, and in a different circumstance, she would have volunteered immediately in order to save the other two students. She would have been brave, fiery, and everything the word knows for her. The fact that she isn't saying anything tells me just how scared she is. My eyes drift back to Ryota, who only tilts his head, the knife twists in his hand. And I suddenly piece everything together. He is, yeah. And because the only thing to keep him playing along is me. And I could pick the class skeleton, I would only have to main plastic. Stop on plastic, break plastic, everything would be safe. But then Rui would be in the hands of Ryota, and watching Rui get hurt, I don't think I could bear it. Came here to save her, let her die in Ryota's hands. No, there has to be a different way. But then what? The other two students? So, two lives instead of one, two bodies instead of one. Objectively, it's the worst decision. In every way. Ryota knows this because he knows me, sometimes better than I know myself. Damn if I do, damn if I don't. The ultimate trade-off. I can't give up. I can't give up Ruri. I just can't. But forcing two other students to suffer? Just who do I pick? Y'all gonna hate me. Even if Rui will suffer, wouldn't it be better if just one person faces it? That's what I tell myself. If I pick Rui, then only a plastic skeleton will be my victim, not another human being. She can hate me, but I need to choose this. Then I pick Rui. Surprise flickers across Ryota's face. This is clearly not the outcome he had been expecting. Yep, neither did I, in all honesty. Want to play hero, I see. I don't. I took Rui helplessly. I don't know why. seeking penance, maybe reassurance. Either way, it's a stupid decision. She must hate me with every fiber of her being. And even if she doesn't right now, she'll end up hating me in the future. She looks at me tearfully, but there's no sign of hatred in her eyes. She even offers a weak smile. Why? Surely it's not out of gratitude. I can't even say that it's out of pride at making the right decision. I read her gaze silently as Ryota holds her across the classroom. She grunts in pain as he slams the back of her chair against the desk, but the smile returns. Ah, I understand. She isn't smiling because of the emotion she's feeling. She's smiling and determined because she knows that it's the last time I can see her smile. I freeze at the realization. A throbbing pain resounds in my chest. The last time. No. I have to believe that she's ready to come. I have to trust that she'll make it in time. But why Ruri? Why my foundation? Why of all people? No, focus. Focus. And trust. I can do this. Force a tentative smile, pushing it across my face, even as muscle spasms against it. Rui's eyes glisten in the moonlight, full of unshed tears. Then Ryota straightens, ignorant of our moment, and clears his throat. Now, shall I explain the rules? He strides behind the teacher's desk and pulls something out underneath. My heart drops. 2 pipes around 3 feet in length. He rolls one to me. I automatically stoop down and pick it up. He walks, turns, inflicting blows on our... Alright, so it's the same thing. If you can stay sane for as long as Rui is conscious, you will win. Everyone's a winner. So if you can stay sane for as long as Rui is conscious. So, okay. Try to speak past my dry throat. What? What kind of hell is this? I just hit some plastic skeleton and stand idly by Ryota wails on Rui? He hits her until she falls unconscious. That's not it. That can't be. He'll kill her that way. He can take his time hitting her toes, then her foot, then her ankle, then her knees, working his way slowly as he breaks her body. Pain and torment without any sense of relief. That is unconsciousness. My hands unshakably control as Ryota unceremoniously dumps a plastic skeleton at my feet. It gazes up at me. Well, procrastinators never prosper, so might as well get to get to work. He raises his pipe, a great melodrama, and Rui whimpers reflectively. No, wait, I shouldn't have done this. I should have picked Rui. I shouldn't have picked Rui. But Ryota's pipe is already in terrible trajectory, soaring downward and... Ah! Rui's face contorts with agony as the pipe slams down on her toes. Her pipe rips through the air and claws at my eardrums. She wasn't supposed to suffer. I was supposed to save her. No, not Rui. Anyone but Rui. There's a shrill noise in space between my ears as the vision pulses angrily, tilting my sense of balance. What's the matter, boy? You weren't supposed to, but Rui wasn't supposed to. I thought that. Suck it up, kid. This is how the lovely world works. You play. George the skeleton's about to have a bad time. He points casually at the skeleton at my foot, completely unaffected. There's not a single shred of humanity left in him. Nothing that shrieks back at the prospect of harming another human being. Just pure malice. Nothing that I can fight against. We haven't got all day. Or are you trying to stall? I swallow my mouth painfully dry. I lift the pipe and slam it onto the skeleton without much thought. The femur breaks cleanly, shattering it into pieces. Plastic after all. Not very strong. Even so, just the sight of it turns my thoughts to Rui. The effects did Ryota's blow have on our bones? How much pain is she going to go through? Boring. Glad it's my turn again. You really know how to kill a crowd, kid. He turns away and raises his pipe again. No! I swing it down, biceps contorted with tension. Ah! Stop it! Make it all stop. She's not supposed to die. She's not supposed to suffer. Yeah. My head shrieks in pain as I crumble to the ground, the pipe rolling out of my hands. Agony. Nothing but endless agony. Not her! Not her! Then I'm overcome with a wave of nausea. Not the sickening blow of flu, the deeper scale that flows to the outer edge of my body. A sensation that's slimy, incurable. Again, my mind whispers, again, again, and again, and again. The sounds from Ryota, sounds from Rue, not a single peep. Not even the students in the back room are silent. Oh, even the students in the back room are silent. Maybe they're trying to blend in the background. Maybe they want to be forgotten. Ryota should be cackling with satisfaction. He's breaking me. He's breaking me effectively. Rui, Ryota, the two students, the four of them only stare at me silently as if frozen in time. Frozen, I drop the pipe, but it lands soundlessly, like the world is a velvet muffler. What is this? I step towards Ryota, but he doesn't budge. His eyes remain on the spot where I was. The room is still silent and miraculously peaceful, like the scene put on pause or play in the middle of intermission. Shadow flits in the corner of my vision, immediately drawing my attention. Who's there? Nothing, of course. Okay, so this is out of my control. Do nothing more, death after death. Fall to the ground and just, okay. So this is the same stuff so far. This is out of my control and now in my control. And so I wake. Time has resumed. No, it never stopped. Rui's eyes glazed with pain, slouched against her chair, her feet almost mangled beneath her school loafers. She's my first priority. I step next to Rue and reach out, brush my hand against her cheek. Ryota does not move. He seems surprised at the motion. I take advantage of the moment, leaning to press a kiss against her forehead. Sweet Rui deserved none of this. Yama? Be at peace. But before Ryota can move, I raise the pipe. With one deft final swing that hits the corner, Rue's neck snaps backward. What? Oh Lord, no. Then she rests quietly. Straining my eyes. She deserves more respect. In a moment of silence, what the? How could you? My eyes snap open at the unwelcome interruption. What? What? A tragic scenario. Yo! Hold on. What? So wait, am I just catching bodies now? Like, yeah, like, this is insane. Okay, no, this is insane. Yeah, like Rui was the only one that would have been able to stop him. I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm just like, yo. This is insane. Yo, are y'all like can are y'all even seeing this what I'm seeing? Like, great, my phone bugging. Like, yeah, I'm just left in shock now, yo. Like, I was supposed to. Hold on, yeah. We're going to the next episode. Yo, that's insane, though. Okay, so, yeah, so no matter what I do. Okay, so, I don't get it. What do I do? Okay, so, Rui. So, you bastard, I can't believe you. Okay. So, does that mean I gotta end? So, I'm gonna end up killing anyway? Like, I don't get that. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, yeah. Okay, so Yama, the airy voice from the corner reminds me of Rui's presence. She's staring quietly at the scene before, face bleached white. You're not gonna hurt her, are you? Guilt, terror, regret, anguish. We must both be feeling their full effects. Close your eyes, Rui. Staff was a quiet sob. I turned to Ryota. Now that everything's set up, I need you to untie Rui. You know I can't do anything to you while you still have that knife, and neither can she. And neither of us will leave the other person to die either. Only because you're teacher's pet, boy. He stalks over to Rui's chair and uncleanly slices at her bonds. She promptly clasps her hands together, breathing deeply. Don't want Rui. He'll kill us both. I, I won't. I turn back to Ryota, hands sweatily against the fabric of my jacket. So, what are the rules of the game? It's quite simple. Okay, same shit. Same shit. Yeah, I'm sorry if y'all getting like mad at me skipping some of this stuff, but I'm just like, yeah. See four students, including me, four lives at stake, two thrust in the middle of terrible suffering. I originally came up with the intention to grab some, to just grab as much time as I possibly could. I thought I could prevent a death, maybe two, but there's no sign of the police, not even the slightest indicator that they'll come at all. Now death is looking like the best option. Time to buy. Oh wait, to buy time, I'd have to draw out this game, causing as much pain to this girl as she can bear, without the boy suffering beyond description. And if the police don't come, we'll still end up dead. I can crack this girl's skull, give her a merciful death, and then I lose. And Ryota unleashes his knife on the rest of us. Or if I move really fast, maybe I can put an end to both her and our brother. In which case, it'll only be down to me, to Rui and me. No, Sugar said she would come. She swore she would come. She said, she promised, she told me. Stop dallying, boy. We don't have all day. Okay, here we go. Finally, I got something. Alright. Okay, finally I got something, y'all. I finally got something. Now, my whole thing is instantly, as soon as I stall, it's going to be bull. As soon as I try and attack Ryota, it's going to be bull. So I'm going to hit the girl one time. In a situation like this, it seems like the only option is to go with the flow. I'm automatically step forward, blah blah. She said she would bring the police. She needs to buy time. Needs me buying time, buying by the game, drawing it out, pain without mercy, conscious damage. Yama, please close your eyes. That voice comes from my head, cold and blank, nothing of my own. I keep my eyes open as I swing the pipe down, only to endanger the girl. But if I close them, I see the pipe descend. I see the girl's eyes wide, and I see the vibration, blah blah, which rouse and feel the impact of my arm, my own hand. Something in me, something I hadn't known was there, slinks away into the shadow. Okay, so the girl gasps for breath as her brother bursts into tears. No! A brother, sister doomed to die. I step back. Rhoda's the only one who throws back. Oh, yes. Yes, that's it. I worried for a moment, thinking that you'd pansy out. You mean business right now, don't you? There must be something, some other way, some advantage, something that doesn't involve this. I still myself, keep my eyes fixed on the girl before me, faking shock. Maybe I can't say that I'm really faking. Meanwhile, I let my mind cast around the room, mentally recalling every sensory memory that shelved away. The door sprung open, my touch as I... Okay, so the door sprung open beneath my touch as I stepped into the classroom, my figure enveloped in the nighttime gloom. Ryota stormed behind me, letting every footstep vibrate into the foundation. He was enjoying himself, maybe a little too much. He was waiting for this moment. I think the students that he'd carved into pieces might have pleased him temporarily, but this night, this would be the finale of all finales, and he would want to relive it 1,000 times over. He grinned with confidence as he cupped his hands around his mouth. And the delinquent has arrived at last. I shuffled further into the room, squinting into the darkness of the furthest corners, my breath shallowed and palms sweaty. In the meantime, Ryota pushed up his sleeves and tossed the keys and the phone to the desk. That was when I saw Huey. Tossed his keys and phone on top of his desk. There was one thing I overlooked, the mole in the police. No matter how quickly and secretly Shigure might act, there's still a high chance that she'll be found out. After all, it only took a few minutes for the mole to relay the news to Ryota. This time shouldn't be any different. Anytime now, a phone call could warn Ryota, tell him to get away, and that would be the end. It doesn't matter if I manage to distract him with his game. It's not like he'll ignore a phone call from his accomplice. Yep. In that case, I need to get rid of that phone. I have a pipe in my hand and just step away from the desk. The main problem is breaking it without Ryota noticing. Or if he does notice, he won't think that I'm knowingly sabotaging him. Hello, Mr. Yama. What is it? This is a little too much for you? My voice catches and squeaks, which makes me sound extremely helpless. That's a good thing. Ryota giggles quietly, but his eyes are narrow. This must be a little rough for him. Do you feel like you're hitting your poor sister? I won't worry. She's already dead, and you know that. I grip the pipe tighter, my knuckles whiten in pressure. The rough edges start to cut into my palm. I walk into anger and panic. I swirl into the one tangle of black emotion. Must be sour for you, kid, no? Would you have rather hit the little boy? Shut up! Yama, please don't listen to him. Come think of it, maybe you'd have had fun if you had the boy. You finally get an outlet for all that self-hatred. Yama, he's trying to get to you. You can fight it. Shut up, you bitch. With frightening speed, he bounds across the classroom and seizes Ruby by the hair, yanking back and forward till her neck is at an unnatural angle? Nah. No, I liked you at first, but now you're just a little yapping dog. I should slit your throat right now. Feed your esophagus to the brat over there. He gestures to the boy who's fastened to the chair. Rui makes an instinctive whimper in the deep end of her throat. Do we have an understanding? Yes. Do we have an understanding? You blithering whore. Yes. Something locks in my brain and all motion is drained away until I feel like an empty automation. You shouldn't have touched her. My vision blurs with rage as I raise the pipe with both my hands. Arm shaking, cold, everything feels cold. The edge of my lips pull to an unbrightened smile as a vision passes through my eyes. Ryota's body battered, broken at my feet, waiting for me to make an imprint. I seize the vision, and even this deeper part of my mind shrinks away in horror. I let it control me. Shouldn't have touched Ryu Hayata. Slammed the pipe down with much force as possible against the floor. Splinters, something white and shiny shot out from the point of impact like a spray bottle. The boy and the girl shrink back in their chairs, staring at me with wide eyes. It's irrelevant. Get away from her. I let my voice increase the volume. Yo, that's smart. He broke the phone. I let it shake. I let it steep with angry, with madness and fury. Rhoda steps back inadvertently, not out of fear, but out of surprise. He almost seems pleased with my transformation. I lunge forward, my voice exploding shrilly of my voice. Get away from her, or I'll kill you. I start swinging the pipe madly. I'm balanced on a string, letting the end swivel into the desk. Anything. I rush at Ryota, but he nimbly weaves down the desk and tightens the grip on his own pipe. My pipe passes within an inch of Rui's face as I swirl, bounding in the direction towards the desk. I vaguely register open horror from Rui, but I flick it away from my mind like a gnat. I lunge at Ryota with full force, swinging down, letting out a vicious scream. And just as I was hoping, Ryota, startled by my sudden burst of energy, and instinctively dodges to the left instead of blocking my blow. And my pipe slices and piles on the teacher's desk, sending shards of wood flying. And the rattle of my arms into my skull. Importantly, I hit Ryota's phone dead center and it shattered the new pile of rubble, resulting in a crackle masked by destruction. I don't dare to take a pause. I can't celebrate the small victory. Instead, I let my anger fester and take hold of the pipe in my hands. I'll kill you right here, Ryota. I swing at him again, adjusting. He's getting ready for counterattack. The momentum in my arm carries my weapon straight into the wall, sending the plastic cracking. I let loose a scream of frustration, something that rips through my throat and ricochets against the broken wall. From the corner of my peripheral, I can register Ryu clapping her hands. Yama, please stop. Got the best you got, kid. You still haven't landed a single blow on this old man. I don't let myself think. I just swing the pipe unblinkingly at his head, knowing that it won't hit. And Ryota drops it down just as I suspect. His eyes widen with glee, and he swings his own pipe with one hand in. My stomach suddenly lunges back against my spine, a piercing hammer of agony. I'm sent sprawling to the ground. Rui is screaming faintly in my ears, Yama! And then coldness, the emptiness, it all melts away and suddenly feel weary, like every step is being pulled through mud. The bowl of pent-up aggression in my gut is replaced with pounding soreness from now impact of Ryota's pipe. For a moment, I let myself lie there. Splinters of wood and plaster prickling into my back. It'd be so easy just to close my eyes and sleep. Let this whole world drift away. Get up, boy. The game's not over yet. Unless you mean to forfeit. Oh, that's right. Can't forfeit because there's other lives on the line. That's what I came here for, to help people, to save lives. I start to push myself up, but my abdomen clenches in pain. I gracefully fall back to the ground, my back slinging from the tiny daggers of fragments embedded into the ground. So no forfeit? Pity. I turn to my side again. This time I lean on the remains of the desk, cradling my arms against the aching, against my aching stomach. Where was that energy from a split second ago? Why am I suddenly tired? I guess that I tend to charge ahead without when I have a purpose, and without purpose, I just run on a broken engine. I need to break the phone. Now I've broken it. What's left? How long? When will she Gary come? Cute boy, I see what you're trying to do. My veins fill with dread. It takes every ounce of self-control for me not to cast a glance at the buried phone. Fortunately for you, noise isn't an issue. You can throw a tantrum all day, and no one will hear a thing. And the new curfew keeps kids in dorm court. No one's going to take a stroll around the classrooms when they could be playing football in a common room. I don't have enough energy to respond. I don't feel like my face will move. I gradually cold welcoming emptiness replaced with the empty sense of utter what? Something dark, black, something that feels like it's squeezing my temples, smothers my nostrils until I can't breathe. Well, that was an interesting intermission. Must be my turn again, no? He weighs the pipe down like he's adjusting his hold on a baseball bat and lifts it over his shoulder. I can only register his words when he steps forward, sliding closely to the boy's side. Suddenly, past the bolt of pain and diaphragm, I'm screaming, "No! Yeah!" I automatically close my eyes at the moment impact, but that doesn't seem to make a crunch of his collapsing bone any louder. Ryota struck the boy's hand this time. I keep my eyes off it, scared witnessing the damage myself, but judging from the boy's shocked stare, it's just as bad as it sounds. Please, don't hurt him! Oh, I won't worry if I were you. You'll be getting your fair share of pain. She groans at this, loud anguish bubbling in her throat like a clot of blood. Breaking the phone wasn't enough. There has to be something more else I can do. Are you enjoying this? I feel her as my mind scrambles for something adequate. Why, yes I am. Thanks for asking. And you even enjoyed the previous students? They were right. But this little show has been the best by far. It's like playing chess against a toddler versus playing chess against a rival. One that just doesn't bring that satisfying challenge, you know. It seems like even in Lucid9, Fost still messes with my cue cards. Let me chill. I can't feel good about pulling the checkmate on a little kid who's not even potty trained. He's becoming more talkative, taking his focus off the game, even if it's just a tiny bit. I seize this with desperation. Maybe they were more of a challenge than you thought. I figured you out, just from the clues that they dropped. At this bold claim, Ryota tilts his head left like a broken doll. I see the deranged gears in his head picking up ever so slowly. Because Ryota doesn't like games with only pain, suffering, injury. He likes to think. Ryota is intelligent. Ryota would like for a battle of wits just as readily. Even his pipe game. Pause. Even this pipe game. It's a twisted mix of sadism, psychology. His mind clashing against minds, trying to make me succumb to his methods. Maybe there's a way to pique his interest and bring the floor into balance. It's the last hope I have. You were always a sharp kid, weren't you? I had high expectations for you, but you exceeded every one of them. You deserve a gold star. I hope you know that gold star isn't exactly an incentive at the moment. Oh yeah, hold on, I'm gonna save. Cause you never know. Like, what if this game somehow like ends up like canceling out my saves or something? Like at the last moment, be like, oh yeah, and guess what? We disabled it. Like, but I read that. Uh, but I read that positive reinforcement is punishment, and particularly when it comes to children. To be fair, I've always thought of it as rouge punishment. Gets results. You just need to look at the history to realize that. It's because of this whips and taskmasters that the ancient pyramids and the great terracotta army were built. Meanwhile, the modern done skyscrapers, what beauty does they hold? They're glorified prison cages of metal and glass, meant to tap in pathetic little animals like Michael Myers. Is that what you're considering success? Building something big? Some people just prefer happiness, my guy. Like, damn. Like, happiness? What a subject misery of reality. At least, impressive structures are intangible. They are made of silent, strong material, carved to loom upon common populace. When you look up, you realize the depth of man's insignificance. Happiness? What can measure happiness? How can smiles? It's just like a sin per day. Oh no, let's not forget the first world dream. Living in a mansion with a Ferrari and thousands of servants? Nothing brings happiness, but so much brings awe. This is just meaningless stuff for time, but I'll take it. He's starting to warm up, and weirdly enough, so am I. Maybe happiness is subjective, but awe, does it really bring fulfillment? Like, for real? Doesn't it? Haven't you ever stood on a... I don't know what he's saying now. Oh, I could have died happy at this moment. It's an unparalleled feeling in the world, child. You seem to be regarding me with skepticism. Then pray tell, what is your opinion? What makes you happy in the foolish little world? What makes me happy? Something about the question seems to be a trap. Is he waiting for something to use against me? It's time for another layer of psychological warfare. My friends, I could say my friends make me happy. Then he point out how none of them were here. How endangered the only one who mattered. How friends are simply a term for acquaintances. I should feel despair. What else could I offer as an answer? Being alive? Being alive to do what? Feel experienced? Blah, blah. Gifts for life bring happiness. To slave beneath a whip. The traffic. Yo, he's just really going back. He's just really going left field with everything now. Like, I get where y'all going with this, but I'm like, yeah. Who really has time to think all this and like that? Like, what makes me happy? What fuels me to get up in the morning? It keeps everything. Altruism. Hardly. Love. Yeah. As if a fountain of affection. What is it that fuels me? What makes me happy? Anything I think of, I know that Rayola can warp and use against me. He'll try to break me with my own words. Oh, have I been caught? A shame we had to meet under these circumstances, child. Your mental facilities are truly impressive. Do you understand the theme of my lecture? Can't say I do. Will there be a study guide? You're already in the test, boy. I'm afraid it's too late. Simply put, he who has the most drive has the most strength, and he who has the most strength has the most power. Look at you. You can't even tell me what makes you happy, whereas I give a confident answer. Why do you suppose that you are so powerless, why I stand invincible? He even took my lack of answer and used it against me. Sorry, hold up. Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm almost there. I can make it. He even took my lack of answer, used it against me. I I try to tell myself it was the right decision. Are you saying that you won? I'm just saying I report the facts. But even if I'm weaker, I can still beat you. There we go. Sorry, y'all. I already beat you. Nobody was supposed to know that you were responsible for the killings. The recent ones or the independent ones. Rhoda stops in his track, his eyes glinting. Well, whether the independent killings were, looks like he was the person behind them. It's a breather that I desperately seize. I try to cover my fatigue by flinging the challenge and looking in his direction. You've been busier than I thought. Doesn't seem to be too hard. People don't tend to expect much of me. But even you made friends in high places. High places, this throws me for a loop. What does he mean by high places? I got the information from Natsuki, and she lives nearby in a... Yep. No, I can't be distracted. I have to keep this conversation flowing. Make him lose his track of time. Just how many people have you killed? The Aztecs have a remarkable belief system. Would you like to hear it? I just asked a question. In order to appease the gods to keep the universe running smoothly, they were to offer a constant human sacrifices. Priests would rip out their hearts of their prisoners of war while they were yet alive. If they slacked in performance in this ritual, the kingdom as they know it will fall to pieces. And that's why you kill people? To keep Ishimu running? What kind of reason is that? Oh, what do you think? I am a priest? His voice drops in a tint of something unfamiliar. My spine tingles in apprehension. I am not a priest, child. I am God. I receive offerings. I do not give them myself. This city must earn my goodwill. At least I paint the streets red with my vengeance. And the ones who scorn me will be obliterated by the very words of their own mouth. Oh dear child, you know nothing of the beautiful, pure, unadulterated strength. I open my mouth, willing a snarky remark to come forth, but there's nothing. My hands are shaking, tying against my throbbing stomach. What kind of madness has seized this guy? I strain and open my mouth wider, hoping that something will come out. Anything. If I don't say anything, if I don't distract him, even if it means I have to listen to more of this insanity. Your antics amuse me, boy, but our intermission must come to an end. You must return to our game. Too late, the opportunity's been lost, and now I'm rattled, and I can't recover. In terms of psychological damage, he's won handedly. I don't think it would have happened any other way. Like a puppet master overseeing play, he has total control over every scene. Well, boy, it's your turn. What is your move? Okay, so now I'm going to save. Because I made the right move in injuring the girl. Which I was not happy for whatsoever. I feel like he wants me to hit the girl again. I can't keep hitting her. It's a pity that life doesn't change whether you can do something or not. Of course. Why did this happen to you? Oh, well. A little heart to heart. He is trying. There must be something that turned you bitter. I love you for true, but hurry up. Time's ticking. Okay, so I pull the pipe over with deliberation as preparing for myself to strike the girl again. A moment passes. Then I fling the pipe around me, straight over that girl's head, right towards Ryota. Surprisingly, he's caught off guard and barely raises his pipe in time. The force crashes, driving into his shoulder. He grunts in pain, but I feel no bones give away, nothing that will give me an advantage. Fear spikes through me, but I refuse to freeze. I continue my assault, swinging the pipe with desperation, highly low, middle, anything. But with the shock of the initial assault run up, he's now iron raw. He seems to know where my blows will strike before I swing him. No, I have to hit him. I have to take advantage. He sidesteps, ducks, said A button, B button. He immediately seizes that moment to bring his pipe crashing down right on my leg. Ah! Pain. Nothing but pain. Why did it sheet in my mind? Washing out. Earl's voice bleeds quietly in agony, low and mocking. Now, child, not how you treat your elders. And you ought to have better manners than. But suddenly, I catch a blur orange from the corner of my eyes, and Ryota hisses through his teeth. In the midst of confusion, Huey has crept behind the desk and saddled my pipe into her own grasp, the pipe that she slammed into Ryota's knife arm. The knife tumbles onto Ryota's grasp and skitters across the floor. It stumbles to the ground on impact. Rue doesn't let up. She swings the pipe again, straight into Ryota's neck. He emits a croak screech, but when he turns in her direction, he soars the pipe through an uncanny precision. Rue's eyes widen for a fraction of a second. He slams. Oh, so she's dead. So I fucked up. Alright. Yeah, so I fucked up. Damn. Let me try and attack him now. Can't let things continue on. So, okay. So no matter what I do in that scenario. Yeah, so no matter what happens. So I have to hit the girl. Yeah, I have to hit the girl. Okay, so say kid, you're not looking too hot. Wanna call it a sick day? I doubt that's an option. I wanted to say something ineffective and cynical, like something that keeps me safe from messing around with the world. Instead, my mouth opens to pull up a topic to diverge the conversation. All right, y'all.
DJ Young Sean mixtapes.
Bitches say they wanna cuff me, I'm hip. Low-key, they just wanna fuck me, I'm hip. Niggas going broke, buying liquor, trying to get bitches drunk just to hit. Talking down on the hoe, but low-key, he in love with that bitch, I'm hip.